So I've been out all day today. A friend took me out for lunch for a belated birthday gift because she knows, as she does, especially the beginning of the year through January, it is actually getting rid of stuff and everything. So I did have one gift which I will probably share at some point, but the rest was actually money because my family know me so well that I like to get all my sorting out or decluttering, although this is now going to progress into another month. Normally I've made a big headway in January to declutter our home, but with one thing or another it's not happened. So I was going to sort my notebooks out. I've crossed that out. I might do it later, I don't know, but I got cold waiting for the bus after the hospital, and so the only thing I've done is put my fluffy socks on, my thicker socks, due to the fact, they're nice and warm. But I sorted this bin out. This was originally at the side of my, where I sit, all because I went to grab my earphones out and got caught, and I lost the attachment, which is this. Normally I don't leave it on my earphones because I don't lose it, and this is why I emptied this bin. So I've been spending some time sorting it all out, and I'll go through my piles. I mean, some of them might be a little bit long-winded, this sorting out and decluttering and reviewing. Others might be bite-sized. It depends on how long I talk. But this was the reason, and I knew it was in there. It just snapped off, but it was right at the bottom. So I tipped it all out, and I thought, while I tipped it all out, I'm not going to just put it all back. I'm going to deal with it. Now, this didn't work. Well, it did work very temporary. It had like the laptops and everything in, but then it just became a large, and I mean large, catch-up hold of stuff, paperwork and everything. And during Christmas, obviously, it was a really bad time for us, Christmas, New Year. Paperwork got looked at, reviewed, but not necessarily anything dealt with unless it was my appointments. And so I've got categories, so I'm going to go straight into it and explain. This looks a lot worse than what it is. It's not as bad as some of the crafting pieces and everything, because most things I could make a straight decision on. This pile over here is all stuff to go. This is rubbish. I'm going to put it in the recycle bin, but I know for a fact now there's a lot of paperwork on stuff that can't be recycled. A lot of it is NHS because I had so many appointments myself, aside sorting out my mum and my dad, and I've also had letters returned with results. So I like to keep those. They're in a basket that need to be filed away. So all that is going. Even pieces like magazines, I've read it now, and I've just got rid of it, so that can just go and things like that. This little pile goes into my craft cubby. This will go on my notebook little pile, because that's what I've got to sort out. That's a card that I pulled out but didn't use, so that needs to go back in the card box. I've got one empty envelope and one card, so I know where that can go. Keeping that temporary. And I think Kaz also mentioned that she cuts up calendars. I've done it for absolutely years, so these need to go sort of with my planner. So they're things that I can cut up. It was an old calendar from last year, and when I cut it up, yes, it went in there. It wasn't just me. I would say maybe a lot of it was me, but it was like emptying my handbag and putting a carrier bag and putting it in there, or receipts and thinking I'll go through them later. Yes, I am still one that has a lot of receipts because I like to see where the expenditure comes. I feel, I don't know about anybody else, if I have a receipt and I see that I've spent money, although January was a no spend except for food and necessities, and tick, it worked. I'm hoping to go into a second month for February. There is a couple of things on my list that I would like, and probably I'll be having a chat soon because we've had an awful lot go wrong and we've got quite a bit of expense. So over here, that's my laptop case. It needs to go in, the laptop needs to go in there. That's where I have my earphones normally in, but I've got another place. That's just a bag that, as I said, I dumped receipts and everything in, and I've changed over my medication into another bag. That's balloons that when our granddaughter came before Christmas, weren't used. They need to go back with her pieces. That is paperwork to do with obviously the beginning of the year, pension statements. We even had our financial advisor ring me up, although we've rescheduled for about 6 weeks time. Hopefully we might have a conference call with himself, myself and hubby, due to the fact hubby was at work at the time he rang, but our pensions are on track and everything, so that's good. Also, I've had sort of results of paperwork from the hospital and the surgery, so I'd like to keep those. But what I normally do is, and we usually do this again at the beginning of the year and it wasn't done, is as paperwork is put into a particular folder, anything that's out of date is then taken up, put in a box to be burnt. As I said, I don't shred things now. We burn them every couple of months due to the fact I burnt out about 2 or 3 shredders. I've got 2 lots of instruction manuals, including the Shark Hoover. I've got an actual folder in our cabinet that has all instruction manuals. Then these are my Shark boxes that I'm going to store. Now I have an empty box on the shelf where the DVDs are. That's straightforward, and that's my spare needles, and I got lances, and I've got my strips for checking my bloods and everything. That band normally goes with my bracelets and everything in my accessory drawer, and that normally goes in with my medication. And then this bit is receipts that I've sat here and I've gone through, that I know what's been spent and can be gone, or if someone's had something from, say, Amazon, sometimes they send a sheet with it, and I always have my scissors because I cut out the details off of cardboard and everything, you know, like these sort of things, so I can recycle the cardboard but burn my details. So it looks a lot worse than what it is, but it shouldn't take too long. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll give you an update. So I have cleared the floor. It only took me 10 minutes. Yes, I've got to hoover up. Might do that before I have my bath, because I say I did get cold after waiting for the bus, but I wanted to get this done because I wanted that one little cable which normally goes in a specific spot, and that's gone back. So this is now empty. Because I'm not going to get rid of it because it's black and grey. I might stick that in my dining room, and anything that needs to go out of the home or say to the charity shop can go in there, although very often I have more stuff than that. I've got stuff bagged up at the moment to go to different households. Right, this is a setup. This is why I sat on the floor. I've got my bin there. This is what I use for my medication. I used to use it ages ago, but then my medication increased and I've gone back to it now. So I have my Shark box in there that has my daily medication in there. Then I have also got for testing my bloods, and also my blood pressure monitor in there as well. So because I sit here, that is really handy, and it fits under there. My handbag there, and every time I sort of come back from home, I try and just review it, or every couple of days, because I'm rushing here, there and everywhere, especially receipts. I did actually share this. I changed it around a little bit. I've got these 2 books up there now under that heart thing, but what I've brought down, and it's been here now a few days, is this little bin. Sometimes it goes in our son's room, and I did have it on the shelf when this shelving was behind the lounge door. And in here, this is to prevent a lot of dumping stuff. I've got my earphones here because they were what I wanted to use, but they were watching TV. so I had to go into another room. I've got my 2 sets of glasses in there, and also what I call my power brick as well, if I'm out any length of time, to charge up if my phone sort of gets flat. So that is that, and this is where my little cable should have been put. My fault, but I left it on my earphones, and say it got disconnected. So that's where it always used to go, in there, and that used to be on the coffee table, but I've got it there. So that's worked out really well. And then coming over at the moment, the fold down there is the laptops at the moment, and I've put my laptop back in its case. So yes, it is working out very well. As say, I don't know whether I mentioned, only took me 10 minutes to clear the floor. There is a few items, admittedly, I haven't put away. I put them where they should be going, but they need a little bit more reviewing, and I'll show you that now. So coming through, what happened was, it was like, you know, walk through, put my band in here. I'm just showing you, well, that's where it keeps, because this is where I get my accessories when I'm going out. Then I put something away in my cubby, and then I picked up laundry from the dining room, put something in the kitchen drawer, then up the stairs to put the laundry away, and then put things away that I needed to, and then brought laundry and put it in the washing machine, back down the stairs. That's why I'm trying to do it. So a couple of things. This is the notepads, but like I said, I've got to review in that cupboard, so I've left those there. These are the ones that I'm likely to want to keep, but as I said, until I review that bit, no. Gold card, I had 1 card. Now, if I hadn't had these systems in place that I hadn't sorted out previously, I would have think, oh, I can't bother, and just probably dumped it or recycled it. But because it was just 1 sheet of gold card, I knew where it was. And the same up here is I had that card, blank card and envelope, that went up there, and I got my cards there, different card stock and that. And then that's my card box, as I said, with all the cards that I make. So that was pretty simple, and this has worked out well. And for the last few days I've been using my desk even more. Paperwork has been reviewed, not necessarily filed away, but what needs to be dealt with has been dealt with, and I made sure the last few days that got done as a kickstart, because paperwork is really my worst. I can't give you too much advice on paperwork, because although most of my systems work and I've got filing cabinets and everything, I do tend to keep still a lot of more paperwork. We have gone paperless on a lot of items. Obviously the cabinets are not down here, they're in the games room, but say beginning of the year we have statements come through for our pensions and everything, so things do get reviewed. The one thing that we haven't done is gone through our direct debits. We do that every, I would say, 3 to 6 months anyway, but beginning of the year we drastically go through it and make sure everything's going out correctly and nothing has been forgotten, or things are not being taken that shouldn't, if you know what I mean, because you can easily forget what actually goes out. So that's that. So I'm just going to quickly show you upstairs in the games room. So this is the games room. If you've been following me, you know we count this also has our son's lounge area. He wants his own sort of, you know, space. He has a bedroom as well, but pretty much everybody uses it, but it's mostly his lounge and games. Although we do have a filing cabinet, well, we have 2 actually, and then boxes under there are what we use to put paperwork in to burn. I used to always make sure every couple of days, yeah, how long have we had the chair and the tag still on there? Yeah, every few days I used to sit up here, because I've got my filing cabinets, I've got what needs to be burnt and everything. And there's my basket. It's got 2 of the instruction manuals that need to go away, and the paperwork I want to keep. Now I've put that in front of the chair because I've decided until I'm up to date, I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes per day to sort paperwork out. Whether it's to be kept, as I said, that is definitely to be kept because there's a lot of information there to do with my health and sort of results and everything. So I do need to keep that for a time anyway. So yeah, 5 minutes on a timer. Very often the timer goes off and I carry on. But if I say 5 minutes a day, then I'm more likely to do it, if that makes sense. So I just thought I'd quickly show you, as I said, those notebooks and paperwork. I put everything else away and everything else has got a place, which I'm really happy about. And that's how I want it to be. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video and it's gave you some tips. Hopefully, I should have said this at the beginning of the video, maybe you could have sorted something out while watching this, or if you have, well done to you, and well done to everybody that is attempting or slowly getting rid of stuff, even if it's just a drawer or a bit of paperwork or whatever. Every little bit is going forward. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.